Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm IWN, and I am live for your WWE and AEW Monday afternoon. This is your WWE and AEW November the 21st, 2022 Monday afternoon news live stream. We got a lot of WWE and AEW Monday afternoon news to go over. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. You can add me on Facebook as well and Snapchat. The links to all of my accounts are in the description below. If you have not subscribed to the channel and you're new, please hit that freaking subscribe button. Hit that like button. I want a lot of likes on the stream minimum. No excuses. I see that I got a dislike on the stream. It was probably a fucking troll who got nothing better to do than to dislike a stream just cause I'm not giving them the content they want to see. But let me tell you something to the troll that fucking disliked my stream. If you don't like the content that I stream, produce, and upload on my channel, you can kindly go fucking watch someone else. Because I don't got time for negativity. I'm tired of the fucking dislikes that I'm getting from the same fucking person. This is ridiculous. Stop disliking my fucking stream if you don't like the content that I'm streaming, producing, and uploading on my channel. Like, dude, fuck off. Really. That's all I got to say to that. Go fucking watch someone else if you don't like the content I stream, produce, and upload on my channel. It's that simple. Anyways, guys, we're going to begin. I'm going to begin with giving you guys your AEW Monday afternoon news. We're going to start with the news on Kevin Owens. So, as you all know, I was right again for the 7th time in a row. Kevin Owens ended up becoming the 5th member of Team Sheamus. He competed in a dark match after SmackDown. Kevin Owens worked hard to make himself one of the top stars in WWE and continues to be a highlight of WWE television. Yes, I'm not kidding, folks. I don't stutter. I'm not making this shit up. His status ahead of Survivor Series was under question due to injury, but that's all in the past now. In fact, he competed in a dark match after Friday Night SmackDown this week. Also, guys, don't forget I have a community page on my YouTube channel. Go check out the votes. Go check out the content from last week if you missed it. If you missed all the content from last week, go check it out. Go get a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And please, comment your thoughts on all the content that I streamed and produced and uploaded yesterday. Last week, should I say. I just thought I'd go ahead and tell y'all that. Kevin Owens suffered an MCL sprain, and people believe that he was not going to compete at Survivor Series. However, as seen on this week's SmackDown, Kevin Owens came out and attacked Roman Reigns, made it clear that he'll be a part of the Wargames match. Of course he was. Of course he was. I was right. I said it in the streams. I said it in some of my reviews last week. As a matter of fact, I've been saying this for weeks. I said that the 5th member of Team Sheamus is going to be Kevin Owens. And sure enough, Kevin KO came out, and he was officially the 5th member of Team Sheamus. I told you guys I was right last week. You got some of these simps and these trolls in the community that believe otherwise. Fuck them, man. Forget them. All they want to believe is their fucking opinion on this and on that. Nobody gives a fuck about simps and trolls in the community. Nobody. Following the concussion of SmackDown this week, Kevin Owens squared off against Austin Theory in a dark match. What is Austin Theory doing on SmackDown? Is what I want to know. He's a Monday Night Raw superstar. Why is he on SmackDown? See, this is what I'm talking about. They can't even keep their talents in the right brand. What is he doing there? Why is he wrestling dark matches on SmackDown when he should be wrestling dark matches on Raw? Typical WWE bullshit, as usual. The match ended up being a street fight as well. We'll have to wait and see whether Kevin Owens will team, Kevin Owens' team will end up defeating the Bloodline at Survivor Series on November the 19th or not. Fans are certainly excited about the event. Guys, I was ready to go live, man. I don't know why every time I'm ready to go live, I end up getting a dislike on the stream for absolutely no reason. What did I say wrong? What did I do wrong to get a dislike on the stream? That's what I want to know. The only people that seem to dislike my streams are the trolls. You gotta ignore people like that, man, because people like that will bring you down in an instant. Any content you stream, upload, and produce on the channel, they'll dislike it. They'll dislike it because they don't like the background, or they don't like the thumbnail, or they don't like what I put in my description, or they don't like the title of my streams, whatever. I don't let that bother me, man. I just keep going and keep doing what I do best because I know I'm doing a hell of a good job on my channel, and I know I'm improving. And I'm going to keep on improving, whether the trolls want to dislike my stream or not. I really, quite frankly, don't care who's watching the stream. The reason why I go live with my WWE and AEW news live streams is to keep you guys up to date what's going on in the world of professional wrestling. Yeah, that is the reason. It's the main reason why I'm live with my WWE and AEW news live streams. But every time I'm live, no one seems to be here. As if my channel is unimportant to them. Whatever, man. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, what I do best on the channel. Not even going to worry about it, because when I end up having the biggest audience within a few years, all these trolls are going to undoubt me and look at me and look at my channel and say, hey, IWN finally has bigger audience. He's finally delivering good content. I mean, I don't know why you would dislike the stream and say my shit sucks when clearly my channel doesn't suck. Meanwhile, these trolls that just like my stream that I see, their channels, they only have like 1-2 subscribers. Anyways, man, I'm not even gonna go there. I'm here to give you guys your WWE and AEW Monday afternoon news, not sit here and shit and talk about trolls. I have time for that. I really don't. I don't got time for the negativity this week. If you guys haven't seen my full YouTube schedule for this whole week, go check it out. It's posted on the community page. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we will be live with a Monday Night Raw review tomorrow afternoon. Also, my Dynamite review will be live this Wednesday night. The watch along will be before that. And Thursday for Thanksgiving, I'll be live with an AEW Full Gear watch along. We'll be watching Full Gear together. And then that's going to be on the Thanksgiving day. And then I'm probably going to either stream Dragon Ball Z Verse 2 or WWE 2K22. Probably this Thursday night. I don't know. And then Friday, I'm not going to be able to stream anything Friday afternoon. Now, Friday night, I will be out and about with my job at the bowling alley because my job is having a early Christmas party at the bowling alley. So I will be there. And I'm not going to tell them until Wednesday that I'm going. I want to surprise them. So I hope they're not watching the stream because I hope they're not watching the stream listening to this because I don't want them to know until Wednesday. And then when I come back from the bowling alley, I'll be live for Rampage. I will not be live for SmackDown. due to the bowling alley, due to the Christmas party that my job is having at the bowling alley. And as far as Saturday goes, I will be live. Listen up, this is very serious. I will be live with my WWE Survivor Series Wargames watch along, and then I'll be live with the Wargames Survivor Series review. So if anybody has any questions about my YouTube schedule, now is the time to ask while I'm live with the WWE and AEW Monday afternoon news live stream. Again, if you have any questions, now's the time to comment them in the live chat. And by the way, Saturday, my Friday Night SmackDown AEW Rampage review will be live right before your WWE 2022 Survivor Series Wargames watch along and review. So it's going to be a huge, busy week for me, man. I'm still grinding, trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers, trying to get up to 4,000 watch hours for monetization. I really can't wait to get the monetization because I really want YouTube to see how great my YouTube channel is and how good I did. I always do what it takes to make my thumbnails, backgrounds, streams, and videos stand out, especially when it comes to quality. You know what I mean? I did not watch Full Gear Hassan. In fact, I was short on money. Did you not see that post in the community page where I said I didn't get to watch the full pay-per-view due to me being short on money? I saw the video clips and the results, but I didn't get to watch the full pay-per-view. But I will be able to watch the full pay-per-view this Thursday afternoon for Thanksgiving. So make sure you're in the live chats for the watch along if you guys are confused and don't know what took place at AEW Full Gear. Especially if you didn't watch it. You could be in the live chat with me, listening to the audio or watching it while you're in the live chat with me, whatever you want to do on your Thursday afternoon for Thanksgiving. It's basically going to be an AEW Full Gear Thanksgiving live stream watch along. That's what it's going to be. I did the Full Gear review, guys. If you haven't checked out my AEW Full Gear review and you missed it, go check it out. It was really, really good. I'm proud of Jamie Hayter. I'm glad we had title changes on that pay-per-view last week. It was really, really good. We got some Full Gear news to go over as well. I got some of your SmackDown news, some of your NXT news. I got a whole lot of that stuff. And guys, let me know your thoughts on Kevin Owens competing in a dark match after SmackDown last week. Now, your next WWE Monday afternoon news we have is on fans dragging Gunther and Braun Strowman's angle on SmackDown last week. Now, clearly, the fans were not happy with Gunther running from Braun Strowman. Even JD said this on his podcast last week. Even he said he didn't like the idea of Gunther running on Strowman. I didn't like it either. I thought it was complete, utterly garbage. I thought it was fucking terrible. Gunther should not be running from Braun Strowman. Why is he running? Why does WWE got Gunther running from Braun Strowman? I don't understand this. It doesn't make sense to me. It goes to show you how petty WWE can be sometimes. Even when Vince and Bruce was in charge of the company, before Triple H took over. Now, essentially that Gunther, formerly known as Walter, before making his main roster debut. Yes, folks, before making his main roster debut, held the NXT UK Championship with ease for more than 100 days, he was the undisputed champion of NXT UK. He became one of the most well-known wrestlers in the WWE thanks to his title reign. And let me know if you guys can hear me or not. On the most recent SmackDown episode, Gunther shocked fans by decided against fighting Braun Strowman. WWE fans discussed this controversial decision on Twitter. Fans had a lot to say about it. It was a disappointing matchup. Yes, I agree. The Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman and the New Day teamed up to take on Imperium on the Blue brand last week after the heel stable called Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods the biggest clowns in WWE in a backstage segment. Strowman and Gunther came face to face for the first time ever during that battle. The former Universal Champion did not respond to the Ring General's chops, so the Ring General quickly tagged out. The 35-year-old's actions resulted in Imperium losing the match after Kingston and Woods hit the midnight hour on Louis Kaiser. It should be noted that fans' reactions to the exchange between the two were conflicting. Since moving up to the main roster, the former NXT UK champion has been billed as an unstoppable force and has gone undefeated in singles competition. Rightfully so. Many think that Gunther fleeing from Braun Strowman went against what he had said up to that point. Meanwhile, it should have never been set up. It should be Gunther and Braun Strowman face to face in the ring. Gunther and Braun Strowman going at it instead of Gunther running from Braun Strowman. That was fucking stupid. That was pathetic. Why don't they have him do that? They made Gunther look like a jobber doing that shit, making him run from Braun Strowman. You serious? Give me a break. Give me a break with this crap. Give me a fucking break with these shenanigans, dude. What is y'all's take on this story? Let me know. Triple H. I got some WWE Monday afternoon news on him. He pitched huge Survivor Series Wargames match in 2019. So Survivor Series 2019 will always be remembered for featuring NXT as part of the brand warfare, should I say. This was the first time that three brands were feuding for supremacy, while Raw and SmackDown were considered the top shows in the company. NXT emerged victorious at Survivor Series 2019, and now seems like Triple H pitched to have another unique match take place at the event. Speaking on his "Oh, you didn't know" podcast, the WWE Senior Vice President Road Dogg revealed that Triple H pitched for a Wargames match to take place at the show. However, the idea was quickly turned down by then Chairman Vince McMahon. Of course it was. Of course it was, man. That doesn't shock me at all to see this. That doesn't shock me at all to hear that. It says here, and I quote, "Yes, and look, he's always wanted to know or wanted to do that," says Road Dogg. He continues on the he's had that in mind, and that's why we started doing it down there. But yeah, he wanted to do it there. It just wasn't time yet, and so I disagree. I don't disagree with that. We hadn't had one yet. I don't think we had one yet. Maybe we had at that point. NXT had held 2 Wargames matches in 2017 and 18, with 2 more taking place on an NXT takeover on the night before Survivor Series. Then he goes on to say, "But I feel like Hunter liked that match a lot more than Vince did. And I think Vince thinks, and rightfully so, by the way, this cannot be argued with. It does step on Hell in a Cell a little bit. Like, you can't have those two close together because it's a huge cage match and a huge cage match. And how do you promote and keep special one or the other one?" So it is a debate to be had. Then he goes on to say, but yeah, Hunter always thought that Wargames was a great, one of Dusty's creations. That was awesome. He wanted to carry it forward. So yeah, he always had the idea. End quote. That was all from Road Dogg. Now, with Triple H in charge of the creative direction of the company, he has doubled down on the match for this year's event, with 2 Wargames matches set to take place at this year's Survivor Series, which happens to be this Saturday night. I cannot wait. Wargames is going to be great. This is going to be one of WWE's best pay-per-views that they haven't delivered in a long time. In other words, it's going to deliver. Never say that it's not going to deliver, because it's going to deliver. I mean, look at the matches on the card. Clearly, that should be enough to tell you that it's going to be a worthy pay-per-view to watch. It's not going to be a waste of anybody's time at all. It would be interesting to see if a Wargames match will feature every year at Survivor Series. Are you guys excited to see Wargames come to Survivor Series? Let me know in the live chat, please. That's open for you guys to chat and communicate with others. Hopefully more audience will be in eventually when I start giving you guys your AEW Monday afternoon news. Now, going on to the next WWE Monday afternoon news. This one is on Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel Rodriguez is totally fine with WWE changing her name, says Ringside News. Raquel Rodriguez has proven herself to be a dominant and powerful prospect when it comes to stepping inside the squared circle. Now, her excellent run back in NXT and slowly rising up to the ranks on SmackDown has made her a force to be reckoned with. Oh, really? However, Raquel has undergone a lot of name changes in the WWE, and she has decided to speak about it. The former NXT Women's Champion made her debut in 2017 under her real name, Victoria Gonzalez, at an NXT live event. A few months later, her name was changed by WWE to Rena Gonzalez. The name change factor continued as Victoria was rechristened once again with the name Raquel Gonzalez. Raquel Gonzalez continued to work under this name in NXT for nearly 2 years. However, her call-up to the main roster earlier this year saw her undergo another name change. This time to Raquel Rodriguez, the 31-year-old superstar, spoke about some many name changes on Fox 61. It says here, and I quote from Raquel Rodriguez, I think that has a lot to do with just like logistics and, WWE having ownership of the image of Raquel Rodriguez in the name of Raquel Rodriguez. So that's really a decision that they've made if it was up to. Then she goes on to say, I mean, if you go back to my NXT career, I had the name Rena. I had the name Raquel Gonzalez with my last name. And then now we're on Raquel Rodriguez, which is totally fine because my biggest concern was keeping my Hispanic heritage strong and representation strong. End quote. Raquel Rodriguez has stated that she was not too mad at the WWE for changing her name. So let's be honest, they should have kept the Raquel Gonzalez name. It sounds better than Raquel Rodriguez. I mean, I'm just being honest. She has been a former NXT champion in the developmental territory and reigned as a one-time WWE Women's Tag Team Champion on the main roster alongside fellow SmackDown superstar Aaliyah. Should I say the terrible Aaliyah that performs terribly in the ring? Which was your favorite ring name given to Raquel Rodriguez? Let me know in the live chats, please. Raquel Gonzalez was my favorite. Now, why they had to fucking change it like that? Ladies and gentlemen, I got some news on the SmackDown viewership. So apparently, as I said in description, SmackDown viewership sees increase. This is referring to last week's episode of SmackDown. So WWE only has 1 week to go until Survivor Series Wargames, which that 1 week is now. It's this week. The Blue brand got a lot done on SmackDown last week, but how did the viewership turn out? According to Spoiler TV, this past Friday, the November 28th episode of WWE Friday Night SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 2,130,000 viewers with a .50 in the 18 to 49 demographics. November the 11th episode of WWE SmackDown drew 2.114 million viewers with a .5 in the 18 to 49 demographic. November the 4th episode of Friday Night SmackDown drew 1.970 million viewers with a .40 in the 18 to 49 demographics. As for October the 28th episode of SmackDown, well, that brought in an overnight average of 835,000 viewers on FS1 with a .23 in the 18 to 49 demographics. October the 21st episode of Friday Night SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 2.163 million viewers with a .5 in the 18 to 49 demographic. The October the 14th episode of SmackDown brought a viewership of 2.129 million viewers with a .5 in the 18 to 49 demographic. October the 7th edition of Friday Night SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 2.133 million viewers with a .5 in the 18 to 49 demographic. The September 30th episode of Friday Night SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 2.076 million viewers with a .50 in the 18 to 49 demographic. September the 23rd episode of Friday Night SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 2.385 million viewers with a .55 in the 18 to 49 demographic. September the 16th episode of Friday Night SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 2.086 million viewers with a .45 in the 18 to 49 demographic. September the 9th episode of SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 2.217 million viewers with a .5 in the 18 to 49 demographic. Yep. And then September 2nd edition of SmackDown drew an overnight average of 1.952 viewers with a .4 in the 18 to 49 demographic. This was a pre-taped episode prior to WWE Clash at the Castles. I guess we'll have to see if they can pull up the ratings again this week, which I don't think is going to happen. I mean, when you got talents like Braun Strowman on television, the viewership seems to go down. Braun Strowman is a problem to the men's locker room. He's also a problem to the women's locker room as well. All right. Moving on to the next WWE Monday afternoon news. Ladies and gentlemen, this one is on Toxic Attraction. So apparently, the Toxic Attraction segment was announced for this week's episode of NXT. Mandy Rose's growth as a WWE superstar is well known now, and she experienced an evolution after taking over WWE NXT 2.0. She became the leader of Toxic Attraction and has been dominant as the NXT Women's Champion for a long time now. For a long time now, that Thunder Rosa actually took to social media to give Mandy Rose respect. She went on to say that she respects Mandy Rose as an NXT Women's Champion. Now, why would she say that? I don't know. Toxic Attraction will appear on NXT this week. Rose successfully defended her NXT Women's title against Alpha Fire in a last women standing match on last week's, or should I say, the week before last episode of NXT. She also did a Nikki Bella tribute. She denied it anyway. WWE has announced that Mandy, alongside Gigi Dolan and JC Jane, will kick off this week's episode of NXT as they announced it on WWE.com. Mandy Rose says here, and I quote, "It's the last women standing, and the NXT universe will back in her greatness to kick off this week's show." The NXT Women's Champion overcame another challenge from Alpha Fray last week, but not without a shocking assist. As the challenger scaled a ladder, as LaDawn appeared seemingly from the air to throw fire through the announce table and steal the victory for Rose. What will happen when Toxic Attraction rolls out the red carpet to begin NXT? Don't miss the trio's appearance this Tuesday at 8/7 Central on USA Network, end quote. Mandy Rose won the match after some interference from Isla Dawn. I guess we'll have to wait and see what Toxic Attraction has planned. Or should I say what WWE has planned for the Toxic Attraction leader. So the card for this week's episode of NXT, the card for this Tuesday night's NXT is Toxic Attraction segment, Wes Lee versus Carmelo Hayes, which is going to be the only best match on this week's episode of NXT, in my honest opinion. That's just me. I don't know how you guys feel about it. And then we got Cora Jade versus Wendy Chu. So, what is y'all's take on this booking? Sound off in the live chats, please. Moving on to the next news. There's some news on Stone Cold. Stone Cold Steve Austin apparently denies that he's trained for a WrestleMania match. Stone Cold Steve Austin was credited as the biggest draw during the WWE's famous Attitude Era in the late 1990s. The Texas Rattlesnake made his in-ring comeback earlier this year, with rumors swirling that Austin may be training for another match inside the squared circle. I wonder what that's about. You guys are about to find out. Stone Cold Steve Austin has decided to respond to these speculations, which may have disappointed the fans. The 6-time world champion emerged as the face of Vince McMahon's global giant. Let's be honest, nobody gives a shit about that 77-year-old senile dumb fuck Vince McMahon. I'm glad he's gone from the company. He cost WWE a lot of money. A whole lot of money. In a lot of negative ways. His rebellious nature against the establishment, beer drinking capacity, and epic rivalry with his evil boss, Mr. McMahon, made Steve Austin being credited as one of the greatest WWE superstars of all time. Stone Cold Steve Austin made his return to the ring at WrestleMania 38 for the first time in over 19 years. Austin feuded with Kevin Owens on the road to WrestleMania, which culminated in a heated confrontation against KO during the Kevin Owens show. The night one of Mania saw Austin 316 defeat the prize fighter in an impromptu match and was regarded for his performance in the main event of the show. The toughest SOB in the WWE reportedly enjoyed his return to the squared circle and is looking to open the idea of competing once again. Furthermore, Austin has been offered a deal to compete in one more match taking place potentially at next year's WrestleMania. Stone Cold Steve Austin ignited the rumors by posting workout videos on his Instagram and is looking to be in incredible shape. However, Austin has clearly stated in an Instagram video that his training regime has nothing to do with coming back for another match. The WWE Hall of Famer, however, did not deny the rumors about his future with the company. It says here, and I quote, "People have been speculating, hey Steve, what are you doing? What are you training for? You're training for an event? You can speculate what you want. I just looked in the mirror, realized that I look like shit, so I can call my diet coach up. As far as body weight goes, probably sub 232 IBS, the leanest I've ever been in shit, forever. Anyway, that's the bottom line. I just got tired of, I looked in the mirror and I looked like shit. Got tired of looking like shit. So I'm taking action to do something about it." Stone Cold Steve Austin's comeback at WrestleMania exceeded fans' expectations. With Austin looking in great shape and still not denying about a potential match in the WWE, it seems like there is still hope to see Steve Austin step back inside a WWE ring for a mega showdown. We could see Stone Cold Steve Austin versus John Cena. I don't mind seeing that. And of course he's going to deny the rumors because he doesn't want the media, journalists, and everybody else, the dirt sheets, all in his fucking business. In other words, when he's denying reports, he means stay out of my fucking business. In my honest opinion. Do you guys want to see Stone Cold Steve Austin compete at WrestleMania 39? Let me know. As a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to show you guys the video right now on what he said. Because I want everybody to see this. I really do. I legitimately want everybody to see this. Because he was not playing. He was not lying. Not playing around.
Hey, good morning. It's Steve Austin coming to you from my home gym. I was going to film my workout today, but I am at home and I don't have my camera holder. Today's workout was starting off on the ski erg, 20 minutes. After getting warmed up, hitting that thing pretty hard. Today was shoulders and traps. I'm in a hurry today. So after warming up, I'll grab those 50-pound dumbbells, sit down on this preacher bench, and use it for crank out 15 reps, jump right up, come over to the power rack. That's just 225, but just using explosive movement with the traps to get that up. Go right from there, jump down and do 25 crunches. Midway through the workout, I'll switch that to leg raises. And so then I rest for 30 seconds, repeat the cycle. So it's about, 20, 25 minute workout minus the cardio. I'll come back this evening and get 20 more minutes on this. This is my sandbag that I've been taking on the road with me. There's my Carhartt jacket muffler. It's cold as shit. People have been speculating, hey, Steve, what are you doing? What are you training for? Are you training for an event? They can speculate what you want for. I just simply looked in the mirror and realized I look like shit. So I called my diet coach up. And my macros are currently, give or take, roughly around 650 calories, 320 grams of protein, 150 grams of carbs on a regular day. We'll spike at 420 on a load. I still drink beer on Friday nights, get 3 broken IPAs, and that's pretty much it. I'm probably, as far as body weight goes, sub 232, leanest I've been in shit forever. Anyway, that's the bottom line. I'm out. I just got tired of looking like, when I looked in the mirror, like shit. Got tired of looking like it, so I'm taking actions to do something about it. I got to go. Catch you down the road.
That's exactly what he said. Do you guys want to see Stone Cold Steve Austin compete at WrestleMania 39? Let me know in the live chats. I hope you guys got to see that video. That's what he said. That's exactly what he said, man. I literally just read the quotes that he said in the video not too long ago. So I hope everybody was listening. I would love to see Stone Cold Steve Austin come back and face either John Cena or maybe an Edge. We could see Stone Cold versus Edge. We could see a match like that. We haven't seen those two go at it before. Quite frankly, I want to see John Cena versus Gunther for WrestleMania 39. And then Edge, as far as Edge goes, we could get Edge versus Theory. Or maybe Stone Cold versus Edge. I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. I think for me, it's Edge versus Theory and Cena versus Gunther. I think that's the way to go. I don't even think Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to be wrestling for this main event. Or I don't think he's going to be wrestling for that WrestleMania pay-per-view. I really don't think that, to be honest. Anyways. Do you guys want to see Stone Cold Steve Austin compete at WrestleMania 39? Sound off in the live chats. Yes or no. You can comment yes or no. You don't even have to comment your thoughts. All right. Next, we have some news on... We have some sad news, guys. Some very, very, very sad news, man. You're not going to believe it. You're going to be in shock. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now. A lot of you are going to be in shock to see this news, to hear this news. So, it's on Jason David Frank. That's what this WWE Monday afternoon news is on. The pro wrestling world reacts to Jason David Frank's passing. Jason David Frank, the actor best known for portraying the Green White Rangers on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, passed away. He passed away last week, or should I say yesterday. He passed away yesterday. He was only 49 years of age. Still a young man. He was still young. And believe it or not, that was one of my favorite Power Rangers back in the day. You know, back when I was a kid. That was when I was a teenager watching Power Rangers. That was one of my favorite Power Rangers, man. And to think that he passed away is sad. And it saddens, I'm sure it saddens wrestlers like Alexa Bliss and Ricochet, because WWE posted an image of Jason, Alexa Bliss, and Ricochet on Instagram earlier today, I think. I'm not sure it was today or yesterday. I think it was today. I seen it though. Now WWE superstars have reached to his demise. Frank portrayed Tommy Oliver in the show's original run, which lasted from August 28th, 1993 until November 27th, 1995. It was on the air for 3 seasons and he had a total of 145 episodes, with his role as the Green Ranger was originally set for 14 episodes. He became so popular with fans of the show that the actor was brought back as the White Ranger and the team's new leader for the rest of the series. The entire world reacted to his unfortunate demise, and this included WWE superstar Xavier Woods reacting to his death by uploading a video of himself alongside David Frank, and he became very, very emotional. This is what Xavier Woods said. He said, and I quote, "Woke up to the news that Jason David Frank has passed away. As the Green White Ranger, he had a huge impact on my childhood. He had a huge impact on my childhood as well." Xavier Woods continued on to say, "When I finally got the chance to meet him, he was always kind to me. Really gonna miss him," end quote. Johnny Gargano also took to Twitter and uploaded a very old photo of himself as the Green Ranger, making it clear that he is absolutely heartbroken over the death. I am too, guys. He was one of my favorite Green Power Rangers. I can't believe he would kill himself. I can't believe he would do something like that. I believe he was dealing with depression and mental health issues. I think that's what led to him killing himself. I don't think people were talking bad about him. I think he was just depressed. He has some mental health issues, and he was dealing with a lot of stress and depression in his personal life. His personal life might have not been good. He probably, and his mother and father probably recently passed away. That's probably another reason. I don't know. I'm just guessing. That's just me. I think it's ultimately because he was under depression, he was stressed, and his mental health. And I think he also might have had an illness. The cause of death hasn't been told yet. The cause of death hasn't been revealed yet. Or actually, yeah, it has been reviewed. It's been reviewed as suicide. He committed suicide. That was the cause of his death. Because I remember seeing that yesterday. I just remembered. So this is what Johnny Gargano took to Twitter to say. He said here, and I quote, "The news about Jason David Frank is absolutely heartbroken. Before pro wrestling, Power Rangers was my everything when I was little, and Tommy Oliver was my hero. I wore my Green White Ranger costume that my mom made me and pretended to be him literally every day," end quote. Matt Cardona took to Twitter and uploaded a photo of a very old Tommy action figure and made it clear that his death devastated him as well. This is what Zack Ryder said, and I quote. Zack Ryder knows Matt Cardona. He's Matt Cardona. He says here, and I quote, that as a kid, I thought I was too old for Power Rangers, but I still watched the show and played with my younger brother's figures. I was fortunate to become friendly with Jason over the years, as so many have, because he was friendly and cool, and I quote, end quote. Ringside News says they are deeply saddened by Jason David Frank's unfortunate demise. So am I. I'm sure the entire IWC community are devastated by his loss. I'm sure the entire AEW and WWE men and women's locker rooms are devastated by his death. My thoughts and prayers go out to Jason David Frank and his family, whoever is still alive in his family. And Ringside News said they offered their deepest condolences to Frank's family and close ones after this tragic incident. This is very, very sad, dude. Nobody deserves to kill themselves like that. Nobody deserves to die like that, man. Really. Nobody legitimately deserves to die like that. Now, the death was the result of a suicide, though an official cause of death was not yet revealed. It was not yet revealed, man. That's the even more sad part about it. His cause of death wasn't even revealed. I think his cause of death was suicide, to be honest. That's just me. That is just me, man. And I think Eric Frank is his father, I believe. Yes, Eric Frank, I think, is either the father or the brother. Yeah, he's his brother. That's his real life older brother. He had died back in 2001, I believe. If I'm wrong, I might be wrong. I don't know. And I think his cause of death might have been the same as Jason Frank. Yeah, to be honest, I'm trying to find out how Eric Frank died, his older brother. I'm looking it up right now before I continue to give you guys your WWE and AEW Monday afternoon news. And I don't think this is the last. No, oh yeah, this is your last WWE Monday afternoon news. I'm sorry. I should have been looking at my description. I don't know why it wasn't. I'm trying to upload this website that's showing Eric Frank, but it's not uploading right. I don't understand why it's taking so long for it to pop up like that. Oh, Eric Frank. Look at that. Go figure. That's the same. Died on April 16, 2021 at the age of 29 after an unspecific or unspecified illness. Eric Frank, David Frank's real life older brother, died from a unspecified illness. That's probably the cause of David Frank's death. I wonder if keeping his death secret or not. So I think either Jason Frank died of depression, stress, or of an unspecified illness, because that's what his brother Eric Frank died from. It's kind of strange that I'm just finding this out. It is. I'm pretty sure you guys are thinking the same way I'm thinking. Wow, man. I would not be surprised if he died of an unspecified illness like Eric Frank did. I wouldn't be surprised if that would be the cause of death. If that ends up being the cause of death for Jason Frank, well, that proves me to be right. That's all I got to say to that. Guys, that's going to do it for your WWE Monday afternoon news. Now we're going to move on to giving you guys your AEW Monday afternoon news. Before I get on the hell out of here, man. Because I got to work today, tomorrow, and I got to work Wednesday morning. This is going to be my first time ever working morning shifts, I think. I think I've worked morning shift before. I just don't remember when. But we're going to start with your AEW Monday afternoon news on Malachi Black. So there's some news on Malachi Black and his whereabouts, I believe. Yes, Malachi Black's whereabouts before AEW gear has seemingly been revealed, I'm guessing. Because it says here that Malachi Black hasn't been really seen on AEW television since All Out. We've been seeing badness of Julia Hart, Malachi Black himself, Brother King, and Buddy Matthews. There has been no shortage of attention on his name since. Reports were that he asked for his release from the company, but Tony Khan isn't granting anyone a departure at the moment. If There's someone like Malachi Black and Andrade who doesn't want to be there. Let him go. Let him go. Simple as that. Now, it appears that he is in town for Full Gear. He was in town for Full Gear. Was, along with stablemate Buddy Matthew. He was in town alongside Buddy Matthews last week. Sean Ross Sapp reported behind Fightful's paywall that Malachi Black and Buddy Matthews are on the scene in Newark before Full Gear. It's been about 2 months since anyone saw any semblance of the House of Black as a faction. So this could be interesting. It says here, and I quote, Fightful Select has confirmed with AEW sources that members of the House of Black were on the scene in Newark for AEW Full Gear last week. Malachi Black has not been seen in over 2 months since AEW All Out and Buddy Matthews and Brody King were gone 2 months following AEW Grand Slam. He goes on to say, Sharon Sapp does, he goes on to say that Black asked for his release this summer, but it was denied. And AEW officials told Fightful they believed they were in a better place with him shortly after. In September, Fightful noted that both Black and Matthews were gone from AEW for the time being. It looked like both would be back by the end of the year, end quote. It was noted that the outlet hasn't figured or confirmed if the trio will be on AEW Full Gear, but have heard that Black and Matthews at the very least are in town. Of course, AEW Full Gear panned out real. It was the greatest. It was one of the greatest AEW pay-per-views of all time. So, AEW is known to pull out surprises during this show. Now, moving on to the next AEW Monday afternoon news. This one is on AEW Fight Forever and CM Punk. This pertains to him. So apparently, fans were outraged after CM Punk is removed from AEW Fight Forever cover art. Remember, I showed you guys the AEW official trailer for the AEW Fight Forever video game last Saturday. The AEW All Out Media Scrum ended in utter disaster after CM Punk went on a scathing rant on the Colt Cabana page and the Young Bucks, verbally destroying everyone involved. It opened up a can of worms that made CM Punk public enemy number one, and he was even removed from the covert art of AEW's upcoming game. As previously reported, AEW dropped the latest art for their upcoming Fight Forever video game. The new cover art featured both Adam Page and Kenny Omega. However, CM Punk was removed entirely from the cover art. Fans were made aware of this fact, and naturally, they took to Twitter and voiced their shock over this sudden removal. Clearly, they were not happy about seeing the Second City Savior axed from the cover art. Get over it. It's CM Punk's fault that he's not on the cover for the AEW Fight Forever game. It says here, and I quote, that 10 people that were gone bought it. Even they won't now. And they go on to say, AEW really got you all caring about graphics. I don't even like them that much, but how are you going to leave the Young Bucks off the game cover? And then they go on to say, yeah, he's not coming back. Laughing my ass out. CM Punk is bigger than AEW, who cares? The game's already tarnished before it even came out. Kenny Omega puts himself front and center when clearly Moxley, Jericho, MJF are bigger stars. End quote. I understand their frustration, but they need to fucking get over it and deal with it. It's CM Punk's fault, man. CM Punk got himself into this himself. CM Punk got himself suspended. Nobody got CM Punk suspended but CM Punk in a steal. Punk also shared positive news about his recovery. It remains to be seen whether AEW Punk will be able in their relationship or not. If anything, it is doubtful CM Punk will be making an AEW return anytime soon. He's never going to return. The contract's going to be buyout, and he's going to be gone. Good. Get him out. Get him out. Especially if he's all about himself and not about the entire locker room in AEW. What? Get him out. He deserves his fucking punishment. Now, I'm going to show you guys an image of the Fight Forever video game art cover. Real quick before we move on to the next AEW Monday afternoon news here. Give me 2 minutes to pull it up. We're gonna do this, and gonna do that, and boom. Bam! There it is. There is the AEW Fight Forever video game cover art. This is what Wrestling News tweeted out last week. You guys didn't see it, in case you didn't know. So there you have it. That is the AEW Fight Forever video game art cover. If you guys have any questions about it, please let me know, man. What is y'all's take on this situation? All right, moving on to the next one. This one is on Konosuke. AEW officially signed him to a contract. Konosuke won over AEW fans in recent months. He has competed in a series of terrific matches on AEW television against the likes of Claudio Castagnoli and Jon Moxley. He came back to AEW recently, and now it seems Konosuke is a part of the AEW roster. You mean he's officially all elite, not a part? Says Ringside News. That's what they said. Ringside News said he's a part. No, he's officially all elite. He's officially on the roster, fully. The young Japanese wrestler saw a ton of success in Japan, winning multiple titles in various promotions before making his way to the US earlier this year. In the span of 4 months, his entry into AEW was thanks to their relationship with his company in Japan. Takesha has competed in numerous promotions apart from AEW as well. He teamed up with Jun Akiyama and defeated Eddie Kingston and Ortiz in a tag team match on Rampage this week. Or should I say last week? That was one of the only matches that delivered on last week's episode of Rampage, by the way. It was this past Saturday. AEW president Tony Khan he took to Twitter and to officially announce that he has signed Konosuke to a contract. He says here, and I quote, "It's official. Congratulations. Konosuke Takesha, you are all elite." After signing his AEW contract, winning again last week, which was this past Saturday night. That's what I'm trying to say. Friday night on Rampage on TNT. We'll hear from Konosuke on AEW 0 hour moments before the annual Full Gear pay-per-view live worldwide, which also took place this past Saturday. Well, his match with Akiyama against Eddie Kingston and Ortiz was this Friday night, or this past Friday night. I don't know what's wrong with me, man. I can't get my stuff right today. According to a report by Fightful's Paywall, immediate reactions to Konosuke from the roster have been extremely positive as well. I guess we'll all have to see how Konosuke will fare as part of AEW from now on. I'm going to show you guys proof that Tony Khan tweeted out the image of Konosuke saying Konosuke Takesha is all out. I'll show you guys that real quick. Where's that? Oh, there it is. Bam. There you go, guys. There's the tweet from Tony Khan. He tweeted with an image of Konosuke saying that Konosuke Takesha is all out. He tweeted out right there. Now the question is, what is y'all's take on this signing? Let me know. All right, so Jade Cargill explains why she picked AEW over WWE. I got some news on that. You guys are about to find out why she explains why she picked AEW over WWE. So ever since her debut in AEW, Jade Cargill has truly established herself as one of the dominant stars in the AEW roster. AEW was the start of Jade Cargill's wrestling career before being signed on to AEW. Jade actually had the choice between AEW and WWE. She recently explained why AEW won her over. It was in April 2019 when Jade Cargill attended a tryout at WWE Performance Center. She spent the subsequent year training under various wrestlers before finally being signed on to AEW. In a recent interview with the Breakfast Club, Cargill explained her decision to make AEW her home in pro wrestling. She says here, and I quote, "I was actually going between this company and WWE at the same time, but you know, we have an owner, Tony Khan. I love the fact that he treats us like athletes. This was not the first time Cargill held Tony Khan in such a high regard. Jade Cargill has previously praised Tony Khan for his leadership skills. Since her debut in AEW, Cargill has become a force to be reckoned with. At the start of the year, we saw her become the inaugural AEW TBS champion. Now, Jade Cargill, still the reigning AEW TBS champion, is set to defend her title against Nyla Rose at November the 19th Full Gear. What's y'all's take on Cargill's reasons for joining AEW? Let me know in the live chat, please. All right, next we have some news. We have some AEW Monday afternoon news on AEW booking best out of series and more for Dynamite this week. Got some news on that. So the Elite failed to reclaim the AEW World Trios Tag Team Championships during their return match against Death Triangle at Full Gear. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks just got themselves a very huge opportunity to win back the titles. AEW announced a best of 7 series between the Elite and defending champions Death Triangle for the Trios titles. The second match of the series will take place on the upcoming edition of Dynamite. Chris Jericho successfully defended the Ring of Honor World Championship against Bryan Danielson, Claudio Castagnoli, and Sammy Guevara in a fatal four-way match at Full Gear. Next week, the Old Show will put his title on the line against a New Japan Pro Wrestling legend, which I figured Ishii was in New Japan Pro Wrestling because I said it on the Full Gear review last week. Jericho was interviewed by Tony Schiavone after his successful title defense at Full Gear. The Old Show was interrupted by Orange Cassidy, who proposed a Ring of Honor World Championship match between Jericho and Ishii. Jericho accepted the matchup and walked away, leaving Hager to confront Cassidy, who announced to put his All-Atlantic Championship on the line against the big man. The two title matches will take place next Wednesday, which is going to be this Wednesday, on Dynamite. Plus, Ethan Page will take on Ricky Starks in a world title eliminator final match. So the card for Dynamite, once again, I'm going to remind you guys again, is Death Triangle versus the Elite, best of 7 series. Chris Jericho versus Ishii, the Ring of Honor World Championship match, Orange Cassidy versus Jack Hager, the All-Atlantic Championship match, and then we have Ricky Starks versus Ethan Page, World Title Eliminator Final. Oh boy. We're going to be seeing 6 fucking matches from Death Triangle and Elite. There's going to be 6 Death Triangle and versus Elite matches. Or actually, there's going to be 7 Death Triangle versus Elite matches, because I just said the best of 7 series. That's what I just said, that literally. I don't know why I said 6. I don't know what I was thinking. What is y'all's take on this story? Let me know. I need to eat something. I feel kind of dizzy, man. And ladies and gentlemen, I officially have some news, some AEW Monday afternoon news on Revolution. So apparently, Tony Khan confirms AEW Revolution date and location. He confirmed it yesterday. AEW Full Gear went down this past Saturday, but the company is still making plans for their next event. Revolution will be here before we know it, and fans know where the event will take place now. Where the event will take place, I got your answers here on the IWN YouTube channel, guys. AEW President Tony Khan has been booking everything that goes on in the company for well over 3 years now. With AEW Full Gear finally over, Tony Khan wasted no time in announcing AEW's next event. AEW Full Gear was truly a night of excellent matches and memorable moments. One of the greatest AEW pay-per-views of all time, in my opinion. Which included MJF finally winning the AEW World Championship in the main event, the Acclaim retaining their World Tag Team Champions, Jamie Hayter becoming the new AEW Interim Women's Champion. While speaking during the AEW post Full Gear press conference, Tony confirmed that Revolution will take place. Revolution will take place at the Chase Center in San Francisco on March the 5th. We'll have to wait and see how AEW will keep the momentum going in the coming months. Obviously, they don't have any matches booked for the event yet because they have several months of planning ahead of them. Are you guys excited for Revolution? I know I am. I know I am, man, for sure. Now, next, ladies and gentlemen, we have some news on Tony Khan again. We got a lot more news on Tony Khan, a lot more than I thought. So, Tony Khan wants to see Miro and Andrade involved in AEW television. Okay, so let me get this straight. If you want to see Andrade and Miro involved in AEW television, then why aren't they getting TV time? Why are we not seeing them on TV yet? Where are they? Where are they, man? I don't understand it. Where the fuck are they? He claims he wants to see Miro and Andrade involved in AEW television, yet we don't see them on there. Yet we don't see them on there. You might as well say Andrade and Miro are absolutely, at this point, word buried. They are absolutely from the word buried. You might as well say that. Tony Khan AEW seemingly has no plans for Andrade or Miro. Bad, 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 bad. Miro debuted in AEW during September the 9th, 2020 episode of Dynamite as Kip Sabian's best man, following a rocky start. Miro became the Redeemer and had a stellar run as the TNT champion before losing it to Sammy Guevara. Unfortunately, he hasn't been seen on AEW television for a long time because they got no plans for him. The same can be said for Andrade El Idolo. Tony Khan has finally commented on their absence. While Miro was last seen at AEW All Out, Andrade El Idolo hasn't been seen for well over a month, following his backstage brawl with Sammy Guevara. Fans have been wondering whether the two would return to AEW anytime soon. While speaking during the post-AEW Gear press conference, during that media scrum, Tony Khan addressed Miro and Andrade's absence from TV. Khan stated that he still wants to see both of them involved while they remain absent even now. Khan also credited the size of AEW's roster, which gives them the ability to miss big stars and not have a void on their shows. He says here, and I quote, "When I started AEW, I said I wanted a big roster, and I wasn't committing to everyone necessarily, working every single week, or working people in and out of the cards. That's still that I'm committed to. So if people who aren't on every event, I like to see them get involved. We've seen people take sabbaticals and breaks and absences from AEW and come back and still be very involved. And I think that's still potentially something you can see for both guys." And then he goes on to say, "I think both of them are great, and I'd like to see both of them get involved in the future," end quote. If you want to see both of them involved, why don't you put both of them in storylines? Why don't you give them more TV time instead of keeping them off TV every week? Miro also wants to win the AEW World title eventually. Andrade also made it clear he will not leave AEW either, regardless. I guess we'll have to wait and see when both of them will return. Could we perhaps get an Andrade Adam Cole feud in AEW going forward? Could we get Miro feuding with Powerhouse Hobbs? Could we see Miro versus Hobbs, since Hobbs lost to Wardlow and Samoa Joe? Do you guys miss Miro and Andrade? Sound off in the live chats, please. More news on Tony Khan. He's still considering stripping Thunder Rosa's AEW women's title. Oh yeah, I got a lot to say about this fucking shit. Oh hell yeah. And you know what, guys? This is gonna sound bad. It's gonna make the Thunder Rosa's fans sad, and it's gonna make the Thunder Rosa fans mad as well. What I'm about to say is gonna have the Thunder Rosa's fans completely upset. It says here that Thunder Rosa was forced to vacate the AEW Women's World Championship due to an unfortunate injury. Toni Storm took Rosa's place as interim champion until she was too dethroned. Since she too was dethroned by Jamie Hayter at Full Gear. I can't get my shit right today for some reason. Jamie Hayter won the title to a defending reaction from the crowd at the pay-per-view event on Saturday. Hayter won the match with a little assistance from Dr. Britt Baker and Reveal. The newly crowned champion joined Tony Khan for the post-Full Gear media scrum. The AEW president was asked about his plans to make Jamie Hayter the undisputed champion. He says here it's a new champion reign. Absolutely. I've been elevating that. And it's something that we're taking into consideration. We've gotten Thunder Rosa every opportunity to come back and defend the championship. And he goes on to say, it's been a few months now. And when we get a better timeline for a return, we'll have to figure out whether we continue with interim or we make the interim champion possibly some kind of an important or some kind of an opportunity to become the lineal champion. End quote. That's what Tony Khan said. It remains to be seen what will Tony Khan have in store for Thunder Rosa once she returns to AEW. If anything, then you have Thunder Rosa come back to AEW and have her defend her AEW World Women's Championship against Jamie Hayter in a unification match for the next Dynamite or for the next AEW pay-per-view. The way I see it, I think Revolution's coming up. So I think they should put Thunder Rosa versus Jamie Hayter in a unification match for the AEW World Women's Championship for Revolution. I think that's the first match that's going to be booked for the Revolution pay-per-view. Thunder Rosa versus Jamie Hayter in a unification match? Book it. Book it, Tony Khan. I think if Thunder Rosa would have came back from injury before All Out, they would have never worried about introducing an AEW Interim Women's Champion. Legitimately, if Thunder Rosa would have came back before All Out, none of this would be happening right now. Jamie Hayter would be the actual AEW Women's Champion instead of the actual AEW Interim Women's Champion. If Thunder Rosa would have came back for All Out and defended that AEW Women's World Champion against Jamie Hayter, only for Jamie Hayter to become the AEW World Women's Champion, none of this would have happened. And let's be honest, Jamie Hayter should have already been the AEW Interim Women's Champion since All Out. There was no reason for AEW to be dropping that title, to be letting Toni Storm win. There was no reason for AEW to drop that title to damn Toni Storm. I don't know why they had Toni Storm winning that fatal 4-way match when clearly it should have been Jamie Hayter. But no, they made a stupid position. They made a stupid decision by having Britt Baker break up the pin like a bunch of dumb fucks. They had Britt Baker break up the pin. Why would you do that? That is so fucking stupid. I am still mad about that, dude. Why would they do something like that? The AEW All Out Fatal 4-Way match for the AEW Interim Women's Champion should have been won by Jamie Hayter, not Toni Storm. That's what that tells me right there. And I don't understand why you would let Toni Storm win a match like that. Why? I'm telling you, man, if Thunder Rosa would have came back before All Out to defend her AEW World Women's Championship against Jamie Hayter and Jamie Hayter only to drop it to Jamie Hayter, for Jamie Hayter to become the new AEW Women's Champion, the interim idea would have never surfaced. The interim idea would have never came out of Tony Khan's mouth. The interim idea would have never existed. The AEW Interim Women's Champion would have never existed. No, never. Now, Jamie Hayter, AEW Interim Women's Champion, Tony Khan needs to get Thunder Rosa to come back so we can see Thunder Rosa defending the actual AEW World Women's Champion against the AEW Interim Women's Champion, Jamie Hayter, in a unification match for Revolution. we should be able to see the continuation of the Rosa and Hayter feud when Thunder Rosa comes back until Revolution. Revolution, have Thunder Rosa drop that fucking title to Jamie Hayter. So Jamie Hayter will be the first ever AEW World Women's Champion. Then we can see Thunder Rosa turning heel on Toni Storm. We can get a heel Thunder Rosa babyface Toni Storm feud going forward in the women's division. That's what needs to happen. That's what needs to happen at Revolution. We need to see Thunder Rosa turning heel on Toni Storm. That's exactly what needs to happen. Exactly what needs to happen. I think it would be the best decision ever. It would be the greatest decision in AEW's career. It would be one of the best fucking decisions in AEW, man. Period. I really think that's the way to go about it. If they do end up booking Thunder Rosa versus Jamie Hayter in a unification match, you know what I'm gonna say? I was right again. They're gonna book it. Watch me be right again, dude. You know they're gonna book it. You know they're going to book that AEW Women's Championship unification match. They're going to book it. Whether the WWE, AEW negative simps in the community like it or not, they're going to book it. They are. They are. And when they do, that's going to have a smile on my face again, because I know that right there is enough to tell me that I know that Jamie Hayter is going to beat Thunder Rosa to unify both AEW World Women's titles to become the undisputed AEW World Women's Champion. It's going to happen. It is. Just you wait. Just you wait. That win right there is going to solidify Jamie Hayter as a true champion. That's going to solidify her career. And speaking of career, that's going to be the biggest win of her entire career. I felt like the reason why Jamie Hayter should have been AEW Interwomen's Champion at All Out because she was built up to that point. She was built up so good, so well to that point. She was. It seemed like they were building up Toni Storm more than Jamie Hayter during that time. And now I see why they did that. I see why they did that now. What is y'all's take on this story? Let me know in the live chats. And Thunder Rosa needs to stop sitting around, man, and really think about coming back. If Thunder Rosa doesn't come back, well, we could truly see Tony Khan stripping that title from Thunder Rosa and putting it on Jamie Hayter so that Jamie Hayter can unify both titles so she can be the first ever undisputed women's champion. We could see a new undisputed women's champion if Thunder Rosa doesn't come back. Even JD said this on the podcast last week. You knew that was going to come out of my mouth. He literally said it on the podcast last week, man. Legitimately said it. On his off the script episode last week. Now, moving on to the next news. So, apparently, Tony Khan I don't know how to say it. He's actually worried about AEW losing their spot with Warner Bros. Discovery. Why? Well, you guys are about to find out right now. Because it says here that AEW and Warner Bros. Discovery have demonstrated a lot of synergy with several AEW events supporting Warner Bros. Discovery show branding. That's what WBD stands for. Warner Bros. Discovery frequently mentions AEW ratings and press releases as well. Tony Khan recently said AEW is now an important player with Warner Bros. Discovery. While speaking during AEW Full Gear Media Scrum, Tony Khan shared his optimistic view on AEW's future. He said that AEW is a family, and they are a family business. Khan said they now have really strong revenue streams that allowed them to take the long view of how things play out in 2023 onwards. In a world where media rights and that landscape is always changing, Tony Khan feels like the most important thing is that AEW has a very strong media partner with Warner Bros. Discovery. He said he's only gotten stronger since the merger happened. Warner Bros. Discovery has given AEW more opportunities with additional content, and he thinks it's going to be beneficial for their future. It says here, and I quote, "I've always been able to take a view on AEW content. We have a lot of resources. There's a family, and we're a family business. AEW was able to have an upfront investment, and we were able to build more revenue very quickly. Now we have really strong revenue streams that have allowed us to take the long view of how things play out in 2023 and 2024. He goes on to say, I feel like the most important thing is that we have a very strong media partner with Warner Bros. Discovery that has only gotten stronger since the merger happened. Warner Bros. Discovery has given us more opportunities with additional content, and I think it's going to be good. Not only do we have more opportunities to get content in the WB pipeline, the Warner Bros. Pipeline, says Tony Khan, but we've had more opportunities to get interconnectivity and integration with their shows and things that are important to them. So we've become an important player. It's been a challenging time for some media properties, but for AEW, when we're up year over year, and for the entire year, it's also been a positive quarter. The pay-per-view buys have been very strong for some companies that haven't enjoyed the kind of success that AEW has in 2022. I can see why it would be a concerning market for us. I'm actually very optimistic about it, end quote. AEW's performance continues to please Warner Bros. Discovery. As Ringside News, my only sources in the IWC community previously reported that WBD, stands for Warner Bros. Discovery, plans on collaborating with AEW for a new television program, a reality TV show at that. The show will premiere in 2023. No name has been revealed for the upcoming project at this time. What's y'all's take on AEW situation or on television? Let me know. Ringside News will keep me up to date for the latest news and updates this week. And if they do, I will be doing another WWE and AEW news live stream this week, which you all know I am anyway. Look at my YouTube schedule. Clearly, my YouTube schedule is enough to tell you that I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of WWE and AEW news live streams. And they're all going to be different, too. They're not going to be the same. I'm not going to always say the same thing on half of them. All right. Moving on to the next WWE and AEW Monday afternoon news. This one is on Tony Khan. Again. Yes, it's on Tony Khan again. I told you I had a lot more news on Tony Khan. It says that AEW President Tony Khan has been focused to make some tough calls already, as he founded the company as a way to provide a proper alternative to WWE. 3 years into his venture, Khan has managed to draw the ire of many fans for multitude of reasons. Being a president, he actually has managed to draw the ire of many fans for multitude of reasons. Being a president, he has the inevitable task of balancing transparency and with fans as well as privacy. So Tony Khan did say that maintaining transparency with injuries in AEW is tricky. That's what he said. For many years now, WWE has angered fans with a lot of false promises and bait and switching when it comes to booking fan favorites in the company. So far, AEW has not done anything of that sort for the most part. While speaking during the AEW Full Gear press conference, Tony Khan talked about maintaining a balance between transparency and privacy regarding giving fans information about AEW. This is exactly a problem when disclosing injuries and the status of suspended stars. Khan stated that he is phobic about bait and switching fans, so this is a tricky balance. It says here, and I quote, "It's tricky, man. It's tricky, man. A subject thing, because I think the fans want that transparency to some extent." And then he continues on to say that I think we offer a lot of transparency into what AEW does. So then for various reasons, whether the quality of the show, legitimate or legal reasons, and everything in between, I know those are at the other end of the spectrum, but everything in between, it's subjective. I try to give people good insight. I think the most important transparency is false advertising. And I think there's a lot of that in wrestling. And I really try to avoid that in AEW, says Tony Khan. And then he goes on to say that I try not to promote matches or build up a match if it's not going to happen. If someone is just gonna run in and stop it from happening once in a blue moon, I think that's okay, as long as you don't gain a reputation of bait and switch. But we really almost never do it. The rule of thumb, I'm almost phobic about that sort of stuff. There is a variety of reasons why you say the things you do or don't say on screen. End quote. Tony Khan will continue to be honest and upfront about what goes on at AEW. Good. Just make sure you hire better writers, producers, a general manager, and executive director, because you need help producing and writing those shows. You still do. For the most part, and that's what matters now. Gear was a true success. And now it remains to be seen what Khan has planned next. Now, moving on to the next news. This is on the Young Bucks, guys. So the Young Bucks fans and simps in the community might want to tune in for this one. The Young Bucks might use Carry On Wayward's son again in the future. AEW stars, the Young Bucks, gave up on their attempt to register the Wayward Sons as a trademark. It did stop them from using a classic Kansas song at Full Gear. Tony Khan shared a few insights as to why they suddenly dropped the trademark during a Full Gear media scrum. Tony Khan, I was going to say Tony Storm. Tony Khan said that getting approval to use Carry On Wayward Son was actually a nice process. They might just use that song again in the future. It says here, and I quote, "We never talked about changing the name. It wasn't going to be a rebrand. It wasn't going to be a Generation Me sort of thing. I was a big fan of the Young Bucks when they were Generation Me. I think it's good when people come into AEW and keep their name for the most part. As for the Wayward Sons, I don't know about the trademark, but the song was a great idea. They asked me about licensing it, and it's similar to trades in sports where it takes two willing parties, where sometimes you feel good about a deal and other times you feel like you got dragged. This was not one of those deals. They were very nice. Really, Kansas and everyone we asked about it was really nice about using it. I'm really excited about this best of 7 series and the matches going forward, which are the matches that are going to be booked for this Wednesday's episode of Dynamite. And after the controversial finish of the match tonight, says Tony Khan, goes on to say, I thought it was the best to find out who's the best. I am very open to using the song again, and they were very cool with us using it. So I think there's a very good chance we'll use it again. End quote. So, last night, I don't know if you guys realized, this past Saturday marked the first time the Elite have been back on AEW television since their brawl with CM Punk following AEW All Out 2022 pay-per-view. When the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega became the first trios world champions, Omega and the Young Bucks approached Punk and Ace Steel in their locker room after Punk's inflammatory press scrum remarks on AEW's executive vice presidents, along with Colt Cabana and Adam Hangman Page. Some people call him Hangman Adam Page. Some people call him Adam Hangman Page. I call him Adam Hangman Page. The parties involved in the fight were given indefinite AEW suspensions as a result of the altercation. Guess we'll see what happens after Ace Steel was fired and CM Punk's contract could be in the process of getting bought out. It is. Never mind in the process, it already is getting bought out. What do you guys think of this story? Sound off in the live chats, please. And then Tony Khan said CM Punk never asked him to remove Colt Cabana to Ring of Honor. What a developing story there. What a shocking answer there from CM Punk. Wow. And then the fans wondered if Punk ever wanted Cabana moved to Ring of Honor. And Khan finally addressed it. Clearly it says that CM Punk never asked him to move Colt Cabana to Ring of Honor. I mean, come on. Do these fans have screws in their head or something, man? Jesus Christ, dude. CM Punk hasn't been seen on AEW television since All Out. However, Colt Cabana's status in AEW became a topic of discussion due to animosity between him and CM Punk. While speaking during the post-AEW Full Gear press conference, AEW President Tony Khan was asked if CM Punk ever asked to pretty much have Colt Cabana moved to Ring of Honor or not share the locker room with him. Khan vehemently denied that note. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. I gotta go turn this light off because I know you guys can't see me. All right. You can see me now. It says here, and I quote, this is what Tony Khan said. He said, and I quote, hey, CM Punk never asked for that. The first time it came up, you asked me this on a scrum call just before Dishonor. I could have addressed it then, but didn't comment on it as I wanted to talk about wrestling on the show because Colt Cabana was on the show. End quote. Okay. CM Punk was also called out for being obsessed with Cabana. Colt Cabana's surprise AEW Dynamite appearance also became a huge talking point for good reason. Guess we'll have to see what will become of CM Punk in the end. CM Punk getting fired, getting let go, that's what's going to become the end of him. What's y'all's take on Tony Khan and what he said? Now, I got some news on what happened to Jon Moxley after AEW Full Gear went off the air. Jon Moxley headed into AEW Full Gear as the world champion, and many fans expected him to take the fight to MJF and win the match. However, it didn't quite turn out that way. The situation took an interesting turn after AEW Full Gear went off the air. And you want to know what that turn was? It was William Regal turning on Jon Moxley and all the members of the Blackpool Combat Club, such and such. Jon Moxley defended his AEW World title against MJF at Full Gear in a shocking turn of events. William Regal turned on Jon Moxley. I just said it in the beginning. Just said it in the open. It allowed MJF to defeat Jon Moxley to become the new champion. After AEW Full Gear went off the air, a fan took to Twitter and uploaded a video which showed the members of the Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli, Willie Yu, and Bryan Danielson, consoling Jon Moxley as they explained what happened. Moxley was visibly irate after learning of William Regal's betrayal. We'll have to wait and see what will become of Jon Moxley next, as things have certainly become interesting in AEW. Guys, I'm getting ready to show you this video of Jon Moxley. Be prepared. I got a little bit more AEW Monday afternoon news, and then I have to go get ready for work. Okay. Get ready to pull it up right now. And here we go. Bam. Wait. Bam. There we go. Guys, I'm getting ready to play the video in 3, 2, 1. Unnecessary loudness to the crowd. Yep, that was the video. What's your thoughts on the video you guys just seen? Let me know in the live chat. Now, next we have news on AEW and their pay-per-views. So apparently, AEW doesn't plan on increasing number of yearly pay-per-views. Why? I'm finna give you guys the answers that you need to hear. All the answers you need to know. Tony Khan had a lot on his mind going into Full Gear. He had a lot on his mind going into Full Gear this year. Thankfully, the pay-per-view ended up a success, and Tony Khan couldn't be happier. However, that doesn't mean Khan plans on increasing the number of pay-per-views the company has so far. This year, AEW held 8 different pay-per-views events, beginning with Revolution and with Full Gear. The company also held Ring of Honor pay-per-views this year as well, which adds to their total. While speaking during the post-AEW Full Gear press conference, Tony Khan was asked more questions. He was asked if he plans on increasing the number of pay-per-views in the future. Khan made it clear he has no such plans. It says here, and I quote, I've run 5 AEW pay-per-views and 3 Ring of Honor pay-per-views, and I don't see them as necessarily competing products. If you're asking about my own personal capacity, I think 5 is a really good number for AEW, and what we've done with Ring of Honor so far with the 3 is already really nice. It goes on to say, I think that 8 is a good number, but also think it's important to digest cause. We're not doing 8 pay-per-views like AEW is doing 5 and Ring of Honor is doing 3. I see them as 2 separate properties, end quote. Tony Khan also stated that Full Gear was a big show for homegrown talent. We'll have to wait and see what Tony Khan has planned for AEW's next pay-per-view. But the company will air plenty of specials on TNT and TBS, like the upcoming Winter is Coming event at the Curtis Colwell Center in Garland, Texas on December the 14th. So that is where Winter is Coming event is going to be taking place. What's y'all's take on what Tony Khan said about all that? Let me know. And then here's this last news on Tony Khan. This is the last news on Tony Khan, guys. I know you get tired of me saying his name. Tony Khan is Tony Khan. I know I get tired of it too. But it's real news. It's legit news. It's nothing fake. This is important news that you guys need to know. So, the AEW president thinks Ring of Honor deserves better than a weekly YouTube show. Ring of Honor surprised fans when it announced that the company was going to undergo a re-imaging last year. This led to the company releasing all of its contracted talents at the same time. It has been a long time since the acquisition, and Tony Khan is adamant about not having the Ring of Honor weekly show take place on YouTube. AEW president Tony Khan previously announced that he has purchased the entirety of Ring of Honor. It has been more than half a year since then. The Ring of Honor has produced a couple of pay-per-views so far. Still, the company doesn't have a television show, which they need to get one now. Now is the time to be getting one. Something the fans are still waiting on. However, no weekly Ring of Honor television show has been announced. While speaking with Tony Khan once again during the AEW Full Gear press conference, he stated that the Ring of Honor deserves better than a weekly show on YouTube. He says here, and I quote, I've finally considered a lot of options, but it would be hasty when there are other options out there to jump into something as it's a valuable property. So for the TV, I really like to get it going, and I see it as weekly series. But because it's such a major leap, I've been holding on. I could just as easily do a YouTube show. I think it probably deserves something better than that. Tony Khan, end quote from Tony Khan. That's what all he said. Tony Khan is also having frequent conversations with Warner Bros. Discovery regarding a weekly Ring of Honor TV show. There is also a good reason why Ring of Honor doesn't have a weekly show yet. We have to wait and see what exactly Ring of Honor will have their own weekly show next year or not. What is y'all's take on Ring of Honor getting that? Let me know. So apparently MJF is heading to a movie set after AEW World title win at Full Gear. MJF became a huge star in AEW very quickly, and he has far exceeded expectations. He considered himself a generational talent. It is hard to argue with that statement now. Maxwell Jacob Friedman also went crazy after AEW Full Gear and bragged about going to a movie set following his AEW World title win. The Salt of the Earth challenged Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. in the main event of Full Gear. It was a solid match from the start to finish, but the ending is what got fans talking. It's what got fans shocked. William Regal turned on Jon Moxley and allowed MJF to defeat Moxley to become the new champion. This move betrayed Yuta to drop a profanity-heavy tweet on the matter. While speaking prior during the AEW Full Gear press conference, MJF went off the rails and eventually bragged about going to get a movie set. He says here, and I quote, "The ship has been steered properly. Once again, this belt is now the most important belt in the entire sport. And it's thanks to 3 letters. It's damn sure ain't AEW. I know for a motherfucking fact it ain't Mox. It's MJF. God damn it. You people are freaking dumb. No offense. Are you upping stupid? You morons bit on every single word I had to say this past couple of months." Huh? He questioned and said, huh? I want to earn it. I want to off that. I deserve it because I'm the best wrestler in the fucking world. Every single one of you know it. On the mic, in the ring, nobody can touch me. That's a fact. Then MJF goes on to say, nobody is on my level. To think you guys still believe me when I put over this Tony Khan. Mother effing. Grow the F up. No offense, grow up. MJF, what's going on with you? Ringo? We're all really interested. You think I'm going to tell you anything with 70,000 effing hardcore marks watching at home, jerking off in their grandma's basement? Oh man, sounds like something similar to Jay Cargill said to JD on Twitter. You think I give a shit? If you want to know anything about most important man in professional wrestling, you have to tune into the MJF show. That's every Wednesday on TBS. You know damn well that's Destination TV. Here's what's going to upping happen. I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to get all of Moxley's disgusting hepatitis A through Z off of me. And then in the morning, I'm going to do what nobody else on the roster does because I'm the only real upping star here. I'm going to hop on a jet and I'm gonna go to my goddamn movie set. Anybody got any questions? Just kidding. Thank you. Off you. Bye. End quote. That's what MJF said. God, that guy is a good promo cutter, man. Now that was long-term booking right there. Long-term booking decision to have Jon Moxley drop that title to MJF. You just have to wait and see what William Regal will have to say after his unexpected betrayal. It seems that he was also confirming that role in the Iron Claw movie that he recently tried to downplay. MJF is now at the top of the food chain, and fans couldn't be happy. MJF is the greatest of all time, man. He's going to be a future AEW and WWE Hall of Famer for years to come. You can guarantee that. So, what do you guys think of what MJF said? Let me know, man. So, Sean Spears says AEW's interim titles are BS. Thunder Rosa was forced to vacate the AEW World Women's Championship due to an unfortunate injury. She should have defended it. Or, you know what? That AEW Interim Women's Championship, or no, that AEW, the regular AEW World Women's Championship should have been on the line. Since Thunder Rosa was forced to vacate it, it should have been on the line. And it should have been Jamie Hayter instead of Toni Storm taking Rosa's place as interim champion. Jamie Hayter should have been the one to win that fatal four-way match to become the AEW Interim Women's Champion. It creatively makes sense to me, if you ask me. I mean, she deserved it more than Toni Storm. I mean, she was built up to that point. See, but it still seems like Toni Storm was still more built up than she was. It's weird. However, when Toni Storm took Rosa's place as interim champion, that changed after Jamie Hayter beat Storm for the title at AEW Full Gear. I could see the Toni Storm geeks and the simps in the community crying, "Oh, but Tony Storm's gonna win!" No, that got shut down immediately. Tony Storm didn't win. It was Jamie Hayter, not Tony Storm. It's Jamie Hayter's time, not Tony Storm. Tony Storm's time is over. Tony Storm's time as women's champion is officially over. It is officially the Jamie Hayter era, you fucking Tony Storm nimroded geeks in the community. Sean Spears isn't a fan of interim titles in general. Jesus Christ. I mean, do you blame him? I mean, I completely understand why he isn't. It didn't make sense. It would have made more sense to have the AEW World Women's Champion on the line instead of introducing an AEW Interim Women's Champion. I mean, come on, that shit doesn't, for fuck's sake, that shit didn't make sense at all. Jamie Hayter won the title at AEW Full Gear, much to the surprise of fans, as they simply couldn't be the outcome. The Tony Storm fans in the community are crying, deal with it. Get over it. She lost, she lost. She was already losing. She was already rumored to lose the title anyway. So, what are you guys bitching and complaining about? What are you Tony Storm saying to fans complaining and bitching about? Always in the community, always on social media, whining like a bunch of 3-year-old kids. Get over it. Get over it. They simply couldn't be the outcome. Hayter won the match with help from Dr. Britt Baker and Rebuild. However, Jamie Hayter was still considered the interim champion, and many people didn't like this decision. Many people didn't like this decision. And I guarantee you, the same people that didn't like the decision are the same people that shitted on JD's podcast. The same people that shitted on Tony Khan and AEW, the same people that shitted on Triple H and his creative. The same old people that I got into it with on social media, which led to my Twitter accounts getting suspended. Sean Spears took to Twitter and made it clear that he hates interim titles and believes they are meaningless. It says here, and I quote, "This interim stuff is bullshit. You're either the champion or you're not." End quote, says Sean Spears. Thunder Rosa might be still stripped of her AEW Women's Championship. She needs to be. Why is she still out? She had 5 and 6 months to recover. You mean to tell me she's being lazy about coming back and not bringing the title to defend it? Sounds lazy if you ask me. The fact that she won't come back yet sounds lazy. You'll have to wait and see how Jamie Hayter will be booked as the champion in the coming months. Do you guys agree with Sean Spears? Let me know in the live chats. So the AEW Full Gear did similar pay-per-view buys as All Out. So Full Gear saw title changes his hands, and it left the door open for a lot of possibilities. It truly was a packed night of pro wrestling. And folks, now that Jamie Hayter is the AEW Interim Women's Champion, their focus needs to be on trying to bring Thunder Rosa back. So that way, we can get Thunder Rosa defending her AEW World Women's Championship against Jamie Hayter in a unification match for AEW Revolution. That needs to be booked for Revolution, not for a Dynamite episode. No. That match is going to need bigger attraction. It's going to need better audience. It's going to need better audience, bigger attraction. And that match should not be booked in the main event. No. It should be booked before the AEW World Championship match. Whoever MJF is defending it against for Revolution. Now, There could be many opponents for MJF as far as the AEW World Championship goes. We could see Ricky Starks. We could see Ricky Starks versus MJF for either Winter is Coming or Revolution. I think we're getting Ricky Starks versus MJF for Winter is Coming. I think for Revolution, we may get MJF versus Willer Yuta for the AEW World Championship, or we may get MJF versus Bryan Danielson, for all I know, for the AEW World Championship. We could even get MJF versus Claudio Castagnoli for the AEW World Championship. We can even get Jungle Boy versus MJF for the AEW World Championship. We can even get Darby Allin versus MJF for the World Championship. We can even get Wardlow versus MJF for the AEW World Championship. Yeah, didn't think of that one, did you? We could even get, or we could get MJF versus Sting for that title. That would be a great one too. Konosuke versus MJF. That'd be a good match. Ryan Pillman Jr. versus MJF. Dante Martin versus MJF. Matt Sydal versus MJF. That's all kinds of matches. You got legit baby faces in that division that MJF can defend his AEW World Championship against. You got a whole lot of baby faces in that division. I was going to say Samoa Joe, but he's a heel right now. You can even defend it against Adam Cole, baby. And Kenny Omega versus MJF? Oh, yeah. Take my fucking money, dude. Oh, man. You know people are going to want to see that one again. You know a lot of people are going to want to see that again. Adam Heyman Page versus MJF. They got Deuce Turner, Adam Heyman Page, that babyface. We can, just like that, we get heel MJF versus Adam Page. There's a lot of possibilities, a lot of matches that AEW can book. There's a lot of matches that AEW can have MJF, a lot of opponents that MJF can defend against. As far as his AEW World Championship goes. But AEW Full Gear did see title changes at hand, and it left the door open for a lot of possibilities. It truly was a packed night of professional wrestling. And how did the viewership turn out? So according to F4W Online, Tony Khan noted that AEW Full Gear did a similar pay-per-view buy rate as All Out, which did 140,000 buys. In the end, AEW is obviously very happy about this turnout. Says here, and I quote, regarding the pay-per-view number, Khan noted to us regarding his comments last night that it was based on what they have now. It looks to be similar to All Out. They're talking about this past Saturday night, which I consider to be a success if it ends up in the realm without CM Punk. All Out was 140,000 buys. It was below last year's Full Gear, which did 155,000 buys. Most did not expect this year's show to have a shot at beating last year's numbers. The two other Full Gear shows were about 9,000, or should I say 90,000, excuse me, about 90,000 and 100,000 buys. End quote. Now I have to see how AEW carries on after Full Gear. They certainly have a lot of fallout after this past weekend's big pay-per-view. What's y'all's take on AEW Full Gear? Let me know in the live chats right now, please. I would really appreciate it. Now, really, really good pay-per-view, man. I loved it. So, I got some major news. I got some major AEW Monday afternoon news on not WWE. Damn it. AEW's current plan for MJF and William Regal at the Full Gear. I got some AEW Monday afternoon news on that, and you're going to want to tune in for this one. This should not be a shock to anybody. Certainly not a shock to me. So it is apparent that AEW's current plan for MJF and William Regal at the Full Gear is to have them as a new heel pair. The plan is to have them both be a new heel pair. So now a brand new chapter begins. According to Dave Meltzer on F4W Online, the finish for Full Gear's main event came from Tony Khan. This is something that the company has built towards for weeks. Now it appears that MJF and William Regal will be a new heel pair, much like Kenny Omega and Don Callis were. It legitimately says it on my thumbnail. If you guys exit out and click back on the stream again, you'll see where it says it. It says, and I quote, this is from Dave Meltzer, the main event finish with William Regal handing MJF breast knocks. Breast knocks was Tony Khan's idea, and you can look back at the last several weeks, the build-up, and see the signs leading to it. And then he continues to say, it appears from the press conference that MJF and Regal will be a heel champion pairing, not unlike Kenny Omega and Don Callis. End quote. We'll have to see how the situation pans out as MJF carries on as world champion. If anything, he got a lot of attention, and now MJF is paired up with William Regal, someone who could do a ton of things alongside the new AEW world champion. What's y'all's take on this pairing? Let me know. And last but not least, your last AEW Monday afternoon news is on Kenny Omega. So apparently, there's some news on when the deal was made for Kenny Omega's New Japan Pro Wrestling return. Kenny Omega is set to make his return to New Japan Pro Wrestling for Wrestle Kingdom 17 to face Will Ospreay. That's going to be a hell of a banger. It's going to be the greatest matches on that card. I know how good Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay are. They are all-time greats. They are WrestleMania. They're like WrestleMania caliber talents in my eyes. That match is, they're both megastars, put it that way. That match has a lot of people excited. It took a lot of work to make that happen. Sean Rossap reported some details behind Fightful's paywall about what went into getting Omega back to New Japan Pro Wrestling for his first match under the company's banner in 4 years. Apparently, conversation started all the way back in the summer to arrange this meeting of two megastars. It says here, and I quote, after a 4-year absence, we're told that conversation started this summer about Kenny Omega facing Will Ospreay in New Japan Pro Wrestling. During our interview with Mega in June, before Forbidden Door, he was in work mode and planting the seeds for a match even before his return ahead of AEW All Out. However, the match wasn't finalized by then. And quote, that is from Sean Rossap from Fightful Select. It was also reported that Rocky Romero played a huge role in facilitating the match and helping get it cleared. After all, Romero has been a huge factor in New Japan's global expansion and their positive relationships with numerous companies. It was also noted that Romero was in frequent contact with Tony Khan to make deals. Apparently, this deal was only finalized in the past 2 or 3 weeks. That being said, conversations between the two sides took several months. I have to see how it all turns out when Wrestle Kingdom 17 rolls around. What's y'all's take on this big match? Let me know. That's going to do it for your AEW Monday afternoon news. That's going to do it for your AEW Monday afternoon, November 21st, 2022 news live stream number 2. If you guys enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up. Let's get a lot of likes on the stream minimum. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. My Monday Night Raw review will be tomorrow afternoon, so be sure you tune in for that. I'm getting the hell out of here. I will see you guys tomorrow for your Monday Night Raw review. Peace, stay safe always, and never give up. Never give up. Trust your instincts. Keep going. Whatever you're doing in life, keep going, man. Because you never know what life will get you next. I'll see you guys in the live chat for your Monday Night Raw review. Have yourselves a good Monday afternoon.